Welcome back to the AAA Fixin' $5,000 Challenge. Our mission is simple. Find neglected machines, fix them up for cheap, and flip them for a profit to hit our $5,000 target. We've got a massive machine today, but it's got zero life. First up, a total electrical dead end. We're diagnosing and swapping out this coil to see if we can even get spark. Once we've got spark, it's straight into the fuel system. This carb is a tad dirty and preventing us getting the full 11 horsepower engine running. But even with the running engine, we hit a wall. The augers are completely froze up. And I thought the gamble we took just didn't pay off. But sometimes these machines just need a little tough love to wake them back up. This ended up being my biggest flip ever. Stick around to see how a $150 gamble turned into my best personal profit. Let's get fixing. Okay, so getting into this machine here is the biggest machine I've ever had. The Cub Cadet, 11 horsepower, 33 inches wide. This thing is a beast. It's a bit blocked in by other machines right now, so I'll throw in some footage of after I've taken it out, or even before. I think I even had some videos of before. But it's a little bit rough on the outside, but I only paid $150 for it. So there's definitely room for margin for profit there. But yeah, this thing is massive. Now, the reason why I got it so cheap is because he couldn't get it started. He had actually originally had it sold previously for $300. He went to go pull it out of the shed to show the guy, and it did not start. It wouldn't start at all. So the guy ended up backing out of it because it was advertised as a working machine. The gentleman said that he thinks that it's the coil that's not working because he was meticulous about the maintenance, he said, with the fuel and everything. So we're going to dive into that. I'm going to go right towards the coil, thinking that that might be the problem because it's an easy one to diagnose. We're going to pull the spark plug and see if she's got spark. If it doesn't have spark, then we know it's probably more than likely the coil. So we'll dive into that. And my plan for today, for me, is because I'm really thinking that it is the coil, so I'm going to pull the spark plug, diagnose it, and then it looks like the coil is routed underneath the fuel tank. So it might be a challenge getting all the way to the coil from there, because I'm assuming we're going to have to, sorry, scooting in here. I'm assuming we're going to have to get the fuel tank off, the siding off, the starter off, to be able to get to the post-start housing to be able to get it off. I'm assuming it's probably going to be buried underneath that. So yeah, let's give that a shot. I'll pull the spark plug and see if she's got spark. Hopefully you can see that all right, but looks like it's running all right. Set this back down in here. Get this popped on. Let's see. Hoping you can see it. She looks like there's not much to see because there's no spark. What I could do is swap in a spark plug in there to see if it's just a spark plug. That could be an option too. I don't have one exactly like this, but just to. This is a brand new spark plug. So let's it's not the spark plug, then we know it's the coil. So good. Put it up there pretty high so you guys can see it. Yeah, getting no spark. So I'm assuming that is our problem, is the coil. So I will bring you back once I've got access to the fuel. I want to get access to the flywheel and the coil. I'll bring you back. Okay, we are back with the giant snowblower, the Cub Cadet. And I got the new part in, the new coil. So hopefully, I just tried doing, I took one of those business cards to do the measuring there. So it's loose enough to fit where the fins are, but as soon as it gets to the magneto here, clearances are real tight. Yeah, see, it's stuck in there now. So we're going to try to replicate that same fitment onto when we install the new part. So I'll bring it back once we have it installed, and then hopefully we'll test it and it'll have spark. Okay, so we got the new coil put on there. Got the spark plug installed. Now I'm going to see about how it turns over. I'm just try spinning it over with my hand, see if that's going to work. If not, I'll just loosely put back on the shroud again for the the pull start. And then we're gonna try it, see if we got a spark now. Hopefully, some focus there. See anything. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show this to you. I kind of need both my hands to do this, but it does have spark now. Yeah. So I'll just have to believe me on that, I guess. I need a better setup to be able to show that to you, but it does now have spark, which is fantastic news. All right, here's an update. I cleaned the carb on the Cub Cadet, and the engine runs really, really well, which is a huge relief because I wasn't too sure how well that was gonna work, but it runs really, really well. As soon as I went to go hit, you could see I kind of took it out a little ways into my driveway, not very far, as you can see, and the auger, when engaged, it goes a little bit, but then I started seeing smoke coming from where the belt housing is. So I'm thinking something's not quite working, and I could see like the primary, I guess, the one back there, moving very, very slowly. So I think it is working. I think either the belt's burnt out or there's something not going on right in the housing. So I'm gonna take the housing off, see what we can see. I definitely saw smoke coming out of there because what I did is I had a, on the engaged handle for the auger, I had a pair of, like a clamp on there so I could see what it was doing, and there was smoke, not barreling out, but you could definitely see there was smoke coming out of the housing. So I'm gonna take that apart and then I'll take you with me to see what we find. Okay, so I've taken the housing off. As you can see, the one closest to the mouth of the snowblower is the one that's in charge of the auger. And as you can see, so I'm pressing on the lever right now. I'm not sure if you can even see it, but there's very, very, very little play from fully engaged to not engaged. So I'm wondering if it's just something that's seized up, because it looks like this machine had been sitting for quite some time. So I think the game plan is we're gonna try to take the bucket off the snowblower and see if there's anything that's not getting its full range. Because like even, so this is the lever for the snowblower, like it's not even getting its full, I don't think it's getting its full range. Because it should be closer to something like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna tear it apart. And because the snowblower is so large, there's like connecting pieces to the frame that I'm gonna have to remove just to get it off the bucket. Anyway, so this is gonna be a pretty big undertaking, not something I was expecting, which is unfortunate. I really do think it's just seized somewhere though. I think everything's intact. I think the gears and everything should be working, I'm hoping. But the engine's good on it. Yeah, so I think that's the game plan. Take off the bucket and see if there's anything that's seized in there. I'll bring you back. All right, I've got some pleasant news. As you can see, I put the shield on for the muffler and everything. I actually didn't end up taking this apart. Right after I took that video that you just saw, I figured how might as well test it out one more time to see if maybe anything I did loosened anything out. And sure enough, it did. In fact, it loosened up so bad that it stayed on, the auger stayed on, even after the release was undone, the engagement was undone. But again, I just kept on releasing it all the way, so it was just seized in there. But with the use, it broke free. So I'm going to show you a video of it running. And the next step, I would like to get a decal on here. I think that'd be pretty neat. And I think that's pretty much, I did have some plastic restore that I want to try on the chute. I already did it on the I'm not even sure what you call it, the plastic headboard there. And then another thing too is that this is starting to peel up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I have some adhesive spray. After this, I'm going to spray it in there and then clamp it down so that it stays flat, and hopefully that'll solve that issue, kind of clean it up a little bit. I think after that it'll be all done. But yeah, the vinyl, I wanted to say Cub Cadet Beast, just because it's the biggest Cub Cadet I've ever seen. I think it's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's the plan. So I'm gonna give you a few shots hopefully of it running, and yeah, kind of go from there. All right, here we go. This thing's so massive, hard to move by hand. Let's see, frame here. Yeah, I did have it running, so I'm gonna try starting it without the choke. Mid to 5 primes. All right, the Cub Cadet is officially out the door and headed to its new home. I picked this monster up for $150, put $40 into a new coil and about $10 into the carb clean. Total investment, $200 flat. Where I listed it, so I listed it for $1,050. I had quite a few people biting on it, especially when I first posted it, but it took a couple weeks to sell, and it sold right at my asking price. The guy didn't even try to talk me down. So $1,050 is what we sold it at. So take it away from the parts that we invested. It was $850 of pure profit that we got from this flip. So it brings us closer to our $5,000 goal. Our total that we've been able to flip for is we now have a total savings of $1,922 in the bank from doing this. We're closing in on halfway. Before we wrap it up, I want to get into the AAA rating. So affordability, we're going to say a 9 out of 10 for a 33-inch snowblower. $150 is a steal. Even with the $50 in parts, like the profit was massive here. Approachability, so 7 out of 10. The coil itself was an easy swap, but diagnosing it and figuring out kind of what it can be difficult, especially for beginners. And once the carb was clean, it was running like no tomorrow. Appeal. So the appeal, 10 out of 10. This machine is like, look at it. It's an amazing machine. It's huge, catches your eye. And I definitely got quite a few people interested in it. A lot of tire kickers, but ultimately it sold within 2 weeks, which is fantastic. And that's the wrap on the biggest flip we've had yet. The biggest one I've ever sold on Marketplace. I've never sold anything close to $1,000. So if you want to see more of this, we're going to keep up the momentum towards that $5,000 goal. Please hit that subscribe button and follow us along for the ride. It's going to be a fun one. We're getting into nicer weather, hopefully here soon, and we'll be moving on to different types of machines. It won't just be snowblowers. So we're going to keep an eye on those, and hopefully you'll join me for the ride. Thank you.